Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Guys hear me now? Am I good now? Am I good now? Am I coming in now? Let me know. You messing around with the microphone and it's been acting funny, like not picking my sound. But if you guys hear me, then welcome to the show. Make my mic on so I can Guys, oh my gosh. Can you hear me? Are you here? I apologize. I don't know what was going on. See what happens? The Nuggets beat the Timberwolves. It's so unheard of that my computer doesn't even know how to react. It kicks me off of everything. I can't get anything to load. I was like talking to myself. My everything shut down. You guys, I'm so sorry. Hello, David. Hello. I see all of you guys here. I don't know what was going on. What's up, TJ? This is the thing, you guys. So abnormal of the Denver Nuggets to beat the Timberwolves that everything just starts getting out of control. Like my computer truly just told me to frick off and was like, sorry, you're not my problem. Okay, I'm here. Happy post-game live. We are obviously doing this season again. We're going to do like one a week to start. I'm just going to pick the best game, and obviously you guys know the Timberwolves are a massive, major rival for this Denver Nuggets team. And I know, no Anthony Edwards, so it's very easy to assume like, oh, easy win for the Denver Nuggets. No, it's never easy for the Denver Nuggets. It's really not. Actually, up until these last couple of games, these are the first couple of wins we've seen out of this Nuggets team that feel comfortable and don't feel like they're down to the wire and little costly errors make it or break it for this Denver Nuggets team. And that's just it. I want to talk about that a little bit. What we saw from this team last game versus the Phoenix Suns and what we saw from them again tonight is they're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to have Aaron Gordon go 3 of 10 from the field and 0 of 2 from the 3-point line. Because there's depth, because everybody's contributing, because you have a supporting cast around Nikola Jokic, you've got depth on your bench, you can give your starters some rest, you can allow for some turnovers here and there, some missed wide open shots. Do we want to see those things? Of course not. I want to see everybody make their buckets. I want to see everybody have impressive stat lines. That's what you want to see every single game. Of course. That being said, you're allowed to make these errors and have these, awkward moments when you give yourself enough wiggle room or you pull far enough ahead or you're playing defense, you're matching the energy on both sides of the floor. It allows this Nuggets team to get away with making mistakes, right? We know turnovers have been a really big problem for the Denver Nuggets throughout the years, especially last season. I felt like I was a broken record, constantly talking about them being turnover machines. A few too many for my liking. I mean, every single starter outside of CB turned the ball over. You got 2 from Aaron Gordon, 2 from Cam Johnson, 3 from Nikola Jokic, 2 from Jamal Murray. I want to talk a little bit about Cam Johnson. A little underwhelmed by him in this game. Now, what I talked about with Cam Johnson on my show when we looked at, yes, we can hear you now. Amazing. So what I talked about on my show today, or maybe it was the post-game show after the Golden State Warriors game. What I like about Cam Johnson is he's going to play tough. He's going to take his shot regardless of whether he should or not, or if he's red hot or not. I mean, tonight from Cam Johnson, he was 2 of 5 from the field, so he wasn't taking that many shots. He was 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. But what I noticed more than anything else, outside of those 2 turnovers, 5 personal fouls from him. He was minus 14. Okay, so you don't want to see a backtrack when one of your starters is out there, especially when I've spent so much time talking about Michael Porter Jr. and how we needed an upgrade in that position and we needed someone who could contribute on both sides of the floor. I think Cam Johnson can be that guy. I think he shows a lot of effort and a lot of hustle. He's going to continue to take the shot, even if he shouldn't, like I said. But you need a little bit more. He looked out of sorts tonight. He has really great moments with Nikola Jokic where it feels like they're reading each other's minds, and then he almost looks like he gets overwhelmed. So I think the more that he can get on the floor with these guys, get comfortable. We have to remember, yes, you acquired these guys, gave them a few months to prep and kind of get familiar with each other, but there's nothing like playing real games that really matter in the NBA against real opponents that want to beat you and are playing tough defense. There's really nothing that compares to that. So it's very important that we get Cam Johnson kind of on the same page with the starters, because if you look at this starting lineup, he's the new guy. Right? So I kind of have a little bit of grace with him in this moment as he's trying to figure out how to speak Nikola Jokic's language, how to read Nikola Jokic's mind, because that is a very valuable part of this Denver Nuggets offense. But also, where does he fit in this offense? What is his role defensively? I think these are all things that we give him a little bit of time to figure out. And once he's figured it out, I think we're going to be good to go there. I obviously have to spend quite a bit of time here talking about Jamal Murray. I've been very hard on Jamal Murray for many seasons in a row, and I don't regret that. And frankly, I don't apologize for it either, because here's the deal. It's saying that my Wi-Fi is still being funny, guys. So if you're not able to hear me, I'm just going to have to text like my fiance and ask him to disconnect. I mean, this is crazy, guys. I don't know what's happening. My freaking house hates me today. But I've been very hard on Jamal Murray in seasons past, and for good reason, right? Because I know what Jamal Murray is capable of. That's really where it all stemmed from. It was coming from a place of love. I know that sounds cliche. I know that sounds like I'm just excusing me being hard on him. Like I said, I don't regret being hard on him because what we're seeing from Jamal Murray, here's the really exciting part, right? I think if you've been a Denver Nuggets fan for many, many seasons and you've watched this team, especially in their championship year and in the 2020 bubble season and every season in between, you know what Jamal Murray is capable of. You know how dangerous, and that's the word I'm going to use. You know how dangerous Jamal Murray truly can be for this team and for opponents. Just ask the Lakers. I think they're petrified of that man, and for good reason. Here's the deal about Jamal. We normally don't get what we got out of Jamal in this game, and frankly, the first 2 games of the season. Listen, I don't need Jamal Murray to score 30 plus every night in order to be impressed or satisfied with his performance. There's a certain look in his eyes. There's a certain intensity that he plays with around May, right? When the playoffs are near, you get that playoff Jamal, which we always talk about, who just knows how to light it up. And he terrifies people when he gets that look in his eyes and he starts to snarl and he starts to shrug his shoulders. It is terrifying. And I would imagine when you get that version of Jamal Murray, there's not a lot you can do about it. You know, he is the guy that can light it up, especially from beyond the arc. And you know what he's capable of when it comes to, I mean, even in transition, this guy, when he decides to fire it up, is really one of one. And I think it's the inconsistencies that make it hard for people to buy into Jamal Murray completely, right? It's the reason we haven't seen him as an all-star because there are so many ups and downs. And yes, he's also dealt with injuries, and that does not help anything at all. That being said, what we're seeing from Jamal Murray in the first 3 games of the season is already a little bit of that playoff energy. He looks really, really locked in. He mentally looks like he enjoys to play basketball again, and that is huge. I would say my biggest takeaway from Jamal Murray over the last few seasons has been not only is he appearing checked out, it's coming off as laziness, but I really think it was stemming from the fact that he may have been losing passion for the game. And I, given the job that I have talked to and worked with a lot of athletes that have struggled with this. There is absolutely a mental aspect to the game of basketball. There's a mental aspect to sports in general. I've spoken to athletes that, as good as they are, when they're not in it, when they're not passionate about it, when they don't love it anymore, whether it be because of their coaches, their environment, their teammates, whatever the case, we do know that the Denver Nuggets last season, everything started to come out and we started to hear more stories about the really tumultuous and very toxic relationship between our front office and our head coach. And unfortunately, their drama and their toxic energy was starting to bleed into the team. The teammates, the team, the locker room, the players, the guys, they were feeling it. They were also being used in kind of a game of chess, a little tit for tat between Coach Malone and Calvin Booth in the front office. You know, oh, Coach Malone likes this guy. Well, I'm going to yank him out, or I'm going to trade him, or I'm going to get rid of him, or I'm not going to re-sign him. And vice versa. Oh, this is Calvin Booth's guy. Well, guess what? We're getting rid of him. He's gone. So what we saw from this Denver Nuggets team ahead of this season was a front office that put the bullshit aside, excuse my French, put the bullshit aside and address the issues. I think Jamal Murray is the type of player when there is drama, when the environment is tense, when things aren't clicking, when you've got external factors, it was sucking the life out of the game of basketball for him. And that's not an excuse. At the end of the day, he was still getting paid a lot of money, and we needed Jamal Murray to show up a lot more than he did last season. All of that to say, what we're getting from Jamal this early, we normally don't get until May. We normally don't see this level of hustle and energy and excitement and passion from Jamal Murray until way later in the season when the playoffs are around the corner. So the fact that you're getting that from him now is a really, really great feeling, okay? So Jamal Murray tonight, what did he give you? Well, he gave you a lot. He gave you a 43-point performance. You guys, we are now 3 games into the season where Aaron Gordon has scored 50 and Jamal Murray has scored 43. Neither of those players are Nikola Jokic. God bless America, right? The Timberwolves always are, you know, Achilles heel, always this team that we dread playing because we just know They are built to beat us. We've always felt this way, okay? Nikola Jokic is usually the guy that you're like, listen, he's probably gonna have to do a little bit of everything tonight because, who is Rudy Gobert? Can't stand him. You guys know how I feel about Rudy. I don't even want to talk about that man. He drives me absolutely bonkers. But like Nikola Jokic versus Rudy Gobert, we're in a good spot, right? I'll take Nikola Jokic 1,000 times over. He's usually the guy that's carrying all of the weight on his back when we're facing this Timberwolves team. That being said, you've got a Jamal Murray who looks exceptionally healthy, who looks very locked in, who's very dialed in, who's playing both sides of the floor exceptionally well. There's hustle, there's speed there. I mean, he just looks like a different version of himself. And health is absolutely a huge factor of that. I don't want to downplay and say that Jamal Murray has just always been checked out and grouchy and not locked in. No, a lot of this has to do with the fact that he has also dealt with injuries. He looks very healthy. He looks ready to go. 43 points from Jamal Murray, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He was a very impressive 5 of 9 from the three-point line. Now, Aaron Gordon, 10 of 11 from 3 in game 1. Jamal Murray, 5 of 9 from 3 in game 3. Tim Hardaway, 4 of 6, an impressive 4 of 6 from the three-point line in this game. Dare I say that the Nuggets have three-point shooters? Guys, I vividly remember. Do you guys remember this? Because I'm gonna hold him accountable for these comments that he made. I vividly remember Coach Malone in a post-game presser last season, and it fired me up, and I talked about it on the post-game show because I was very aggravated by this comment. He said, and I quote, that when someone asked, it was a reporter that asked him, like, hey, the game of basketball has evolved where the three-point shot is everybody's shot. These teams are living and dying by the three ball. That's just not our game. That's just not how we play. Okay, but then he kind of framed it like that's not our strong suit. Like that's what he said. We're not a three-point shooting team. And that really aggravated me because actually I sat there and listened to him say that and I said, but you can be, though, is the problem. Like you've got Jamal Murray. You've got Blue Arrow, playoff Jamal, and you have the audacity to tell me that you're not a three-point shooting team. Yes, you are. Okay. This is also an Aaron Gordon that went from 29% to 46 in one season from beyond the arc. And you're telling me you're not a three-point shooting team? Yes, you are. You're just not allowing them to be. That wasn't how you were playing the game, which is fine. If you're not going to live and die by the three like everybody else, that's okay. You don't have to do that. No one's forcing you to play the game the way everybody's playing the game, but you also do have to understand everybody is living and dying by the three. So if you're the one team in the league that can't shoot from beyond the arc, you're going to be in trouble, regardless of how well CB looks in transition or how many offensive opportunities Nikola Jokic creates. It doesn't matter. If every team is lethal from the three-point line and you're the only team that's not, you will always be at a disadvantage. Always. Now, I'm not saying you have to live and die by the three. That's what I think he should have maybe been a little bit more clear on is you don't have to live and die by the three. Nobody needs you to do that, especially if you don't trust the three ball with your team like that. I get it, right? Like it's not like MPJ was super consistent from the three-point line. CB had his moments, but he wasn't entirely consistent from the three-point line. Even Jamal wasn't all that reliable in the first few months of the season from beyond the arc. So I understand the narrative around not wanting to live and die by the three. But I think Coach Malone last season automatically put this Nuggets team at a disadvantage by not kind of forcing that on them a little bit more. Because this is a group of guys that can, in fact, shoot from beyond the arc. Let's not get it twisted, okay? Let's not get it twisted. Aaron Gordon in game 1, 10 of 11 from 3. You had 5 of 9 from Jamal Murray tonight. You had 4 of 6 from Tim Hardaway. You were a perfect 2 of 2 from Peyton Watson off the bench. Okay, so there are opportunities here for this team to be a three-point shooting team. And so that is a really exciting takeaway from this game. From what I could observe, I mean, even Nikola Jokic didn't even need to take any threes because he was a 9 of 10 from the field, damn near perfect from the field, perfect from the free throw line. Nikola Jokic was a completely different version of himself if we're looking at comparing him from game 1 and game 2 to game 3 tonight. Completely different. He looked way more dialed in. Now, Do I think Nikola Jokic is an insanely strategic person? I do. I actually think Nikola Jokic is about 25 steps ahead of everybody at all times. I do. I do. I think he can read an opposing defense before their defense even knows what the hell is going on. He is a very intelligent and smart and brilliantly minded basketball player. I don't think enough people talk about that aspect of Nikola Jokic's game. He is insanely smart when it comes to basketball. He has a very, very high IQ. I said it on my show today, you guys. I said, don't expect Nikola Jokic to have off nights. What's hilarious is an off night for Nikola Jokic is still a triple-double, right? Like he still has had back-to-back triple-doubles, now 3 in a row. Make it 3 in a row. 25-point triple-double, 19 rebounds, 10 assists from Nikola Jokic. Damn near perfect from the field. Yes, he does that. And I said on my show today, he's looked off, right? Air quotes, because he still had triple-doubles. He looked off in game 1 and game 2. But he's not going to look off every game this season. Let's be real. This is still Nikola Jokic. Let's not get it twisted. And I talked on my show again today about the fact that I'm watching all these NBA fans around the league, who are expressing concern. We could call it expressing some concern for Nikola Jokic. Like, oh, he looks off, man. Ooh, regression year for Jokic. No. Don't get it twisted. Nuggets fans are actually thrilled by what we saw in game 1 and game 2. Maybe not so much game 1 because we ended up losing that game. But game 2, there was like 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. He hadn't taken a single shot, and everyone's like in panic mode. Denver Nuggets fans were thrilled by that. You mean to tell me we're beating a team comfortably and Nikola Jokic hasn't even taken a shot with 6 minutes left in the second quarter? Praise God, hallelujah, amen. Yes, we all bow our heads and say amen. Why? Because Nikola Jokic finally has some help. Praise be. So while everyone else panics about that, I actually sit back and I go, thank God. Thank God you don't need Nikola Jokic to take every single shot because like any other human or basketball player, he's going to have an off night. Or he's going to go up against a guy that's got him figured out and is smothering him and he can't do a whole lot. Those things will also happen. So it feels really, really good to have Nikola Jokic with some supporting cast around him. I saw a comment that said, talk about Christian Braun. Listen, I'm waiting for Christian to kind of get into it a little bit, right? I think we're all waiting to see. I mean, he was just so exceptionally good in transition last season, and he really proved himself as a starter. I'm not making an accusation here. I'm not making an accusation here at all because I do think this is a very new offense. It's being run very differently. You've got different guys stepping up. You've got depth on your bench, so you don't always need your starters to be 100 all of the time, right? CB doesn't have to be delivering all that much in transition if Jamal Murray's got the ball and is handling it just fine, right? You don't really need that from CB. That being said, I do want to see him kind of turn it up a little bit more because I saw what he could do in transition last year, and there really wasn't anything like it. There really wasn't anything like it last season. So you want to see more of that, and I'm hoping Coach Adelman and just the coaching staff in general is going to find ways that even in this new offense, you're still implementing that part of CB's game because it does make him a very dangerous player. It really, really does. I'm not worried about CB. I will say there's that little voice in the back of my head that's like, uh-oh, he just got paid. Please don't let this be complacency, but I really don't believe that's what this is with CB. I really, really don't. I think he's way too much of a competitor. I think he, like a Cam Johnson, is watching these stellar performances from guys like AG who are the leaders on the team, right? Jamal Murray, also a leader on the team, someone that if he's on fire, leave him alone. Stay out of his way. Let him shoot the ball. If Aaron Gordon is doing what he was doing in game 1, stay out of his way. Get him the ball and back off. Like that was kind of, as I'm watching that game versus Golden State, I'm like, feed Aaron Gordon this whole game. There should be nobody else even attempting to take a shot right now because he's red hot. Same thing with Jamal tonight. So I'm not necessarily worried about Christian Braun just yet. I'm really not. But you do want to make sure that you're still getting the same production out of him after he got his bag, right? I don't think what we're seeing from CB though is a lack of interest by him or a lack of um like commitment or a lack of drive or a lack of intensity. I think it's just this new offense that is flowing very nicely. A lot of ball movement. It just looks very different to me than it did last season. So I think there's a little bit of an adjustment period that we have to allow for the guys like Cam Johnson and Christian Brown, who may not be the superstars, but still do have a very valuable role in this starting lineup, right? We may see a regression in CB's stat line, but not necessarily in a bad way. The only time you really want to start bringing things up is when they're in the minus column, right? Like we don't want you you make plays. It may not be a 3-point shot. It may not be you in transition, but make plays regardless. So I'm not worried about CB just yet. Could be, if we're a couple weeks into the season and he's still like, ooh, but we also have to remember last season, the expectation was like, this guy's going to probably average 10 points a game. Right? Like we weren't expecting what we got out of CB. What we're getting out of CB now, in my opinion, is more of what I expected last season, honestly. So again, I think this speaks to a bigger celebration, I guess you could say, which is there's a lot of depth on this team. There's a lot of guys that at any given moment can step up to the plate and make big plays. And I think that's what's going to make this Nuggets team so dangerous, is that at any given moment, you could have Tim Hardaway firing it off. You could have Cam Johnson once he starts to get hot. Aaron Gordon, now reliable and lethal from the 3-point line. I mean, there's a lot of skill on this team. There's a lot of talent on this team. And I think at any given moment, one of these guys is due to pop off. And that's a really great feeling. And it's a really good thing to have, especially in the NBA being such a star-driven league. So I'm not worried about CB yet, you guys. Not yet. Hi, Queen. Go Nuggets. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, go Nuggets, you guys. This is a really great feeling. I'm feeling very, very excited for this season for a couple of reasons. Like I said, you've got depth, and that's what makes this team very, very exciting. You don't know in any given game. I will say, as someone who really likes to bet, I'm a sports better girl. As someone who really likes to bet, this is going to be a tough team to bet on from the player prop market perspective. Because you may have a game where the Nuggets win comfortably and Jokic only has 11 points. You may have a game where Aaron Gordon has a 50-piece or he does what he did tonight and he scores 9 points. I think that, again, is a testament to depth on a team. When you can win a comfortable game and not every one of your starters had to be on. Because they're not always going to be on. We're going to deal with turnovers with this team. We always have, and we likely always will. But they're now giving themselves a little bit more wiggle room to allow for the turnovers to happen without them being costly and losing you a basketball game. So I'm feeling good about that. Yes, I also want to discuss the fact that, Jokic having a backup center that non-Jokic minutes have always been a very terrifying thought, I think, for all of us, right? Like anytime Jokic is not on the floor, it's just like, oh, I hate to see this happen. You're still getting a guy in Valanciunas that is keeping the energy the same. He may not be elevating, and I think I would say in the first 2 games you saw it a little bit more. He may not be elevating the game necessarily when Jokic is not out there, but he's certainly not. You're not seeing the energy drop. You're not seeing a huge and very obvious lull in this offense or in this defense when Jokic is not out there. That's a really great feeling to have. So what I'm excited about, a few things, like I said, you've got the depth. That's a very, very valuable piece to a successful basketball team. If you want to be a contender, it's really hard to do so without depth. I've been feeling a lot better about defense. Is that saying a whole lot? Maybe no, because this is, again, a Nuggets team that I just simply felt like did not play defense at all. And if they did, it was very random. There was no game plan defensively. There was no scheme. There was just go out there, flail your arms about, and maybe don't even do that. Don't even hustle down the court to play defense. Let's just kind of walk in place and see what happens. I mean, there was a really large just lack of effort defensively last season. At least we're seeing the effort piece. And it does feel like there's a lot of good chemistry and rhythm already going 3 games into the season, and there were changes made. MPJ was a part of, like, the OG first championship team. He's been with Denver for forever. So regardless of whether or not that was a good decision to the guys or not, it's still a change. And it still is going to require a little bit of patience in terms of adjusting to that change. That being said, they're flowing really nicely right now. There's already a lot of rhythm and chemistry that I'm very, very fond of. So I'm feeling good. Obviously, a win against the Timberwolves. I don't care who is in or who is out. I really don't care. I'm just happy that they won. The Nuggets started off really good. I think it was like a good 5-6 minutes into the game, and the guys on the floor were a perfect 6 of 6 from the field. That doesn't happen very often with this Nuggets team. So again, guys, we're in a good spot, okay? I don't want to overhype it, because here's the deal. I do have a little bit of superstitious energy to me. I really do. But more than that, I think this Nuggets team does better when nobody cares about them. I'm really serious. I think this Nuggets team does a lot better when nobody's paying attention to them. Nobody cares. They're just playing the game that they love and the game they know how to play, and that's it. I think the moment you start applying too much pressure, like, oh, this team is legit. Right now, we just want to see this team flowing. We just want to see rhythm, chemistry, shots being made, defense being played. And so far, you're seeing that. You are. It feels like there's a lot of good chemistry happening here. Okay, guys, first of all, I am so no respect for the Nuggets or Broncos. Crazy, but I like that too. What are you talking about? I don't have respect for the Nuggets or Broncos? Are you crazy? Those are my squads, man. Those are my squads, guys. I got to be honest too. I don't really follow hockey. Oh, the media. Yes, yes, yes. You're right. You know what, though? Like, let them. Let the media just look like idiots. Like, I actually love it. I love it. And I will say, you guys, my jaw about hit the damn floor the other day when I'm watching like a post-game show with Shaq and Kenny and all the guys. And Shaq said that Joker is the best player in the league. And I was like, that's interesting, because I vividly remember you telling Nikola Jokic to his face in an interview that you thought SGA should have won MVP over him, which is, by the way, wild to do. I don't know. Part of me just feels like the less people care about the Nuggets, the better they're going to be. I think that when they're just playing ball because they love it and there's no pressure attached to it, I don't know. I think they're in a really good spot this season. I do have a futures ticket on them to win it all. That is true. That is something that I do have, and I still feel very, very good about it. Obviously, you just hope that this team stays healthy. But again, when you've got depth on your bench, if one of our starters goes out for a little bit of time, I'm not as terrified about non-Jokic minutes as I used to be. Also got to throw this out there. The Timberwolves are a good effing team, okay? Truly. And Anthony Edwards is, I have to say, if it's not a Denver Nugget and you're forcing me to pick my favorite player in the NBA that is not on the Denver Nuggets, outside of now Russell Westbrook, because he's not on the Denver Nuggets, it's Anthony Edwards every time. The dude's a baller. He plays a type of basketball that I wish more players played, honestly, in this era of basketball. That being said, this Timberwolves team is very stinking good. I do not take this win and say, woo, we're over the hump. We're good versus the Timberwolves. No. Anthony Edwards comes back. This looks like a very different game. I'm not saying the Nuggets wouldn't have won it, but it's a different game. It is. I think that's obvious. We know the type of impact that Anthony Edwards has when he's on the floor playing basketball. I mean, I'm not the only person that knows this to be true. So it feels good to get a win. I think more than anything, the Nuggets for especially next week, they have a lot of home games next week. If I'm not mistaken, Kings, Miami Heat, Golden State again, and then Pacers. all at home next week. So this is a really great time. Start yourself off on a good note, right? I know the season is very long, but we also know when you start getting those back-to-back games and you're traveling a lot, and we know this NBA schedule in so many ways does not make sense at all. There's a lot of times I'm like, what are we doing with this freaking schedule? It doesn't make sense. I mean, there were games even in the postseason last year with the Nuggets that they had like less than 48 hours of rest between games, 2 and 3 in a playoff series. I mean, it was absurd, honestly. So, I know the curse is broken. God bless America. God bless America. Um, how concerned are we for back-to-backs this year? Not so much. Not so much because I would assume and hope and pray that during those back-to-backs, you don't have Nikola Jokic playing 40 plus minutes in each of them. That's what I'm hoping for. How many minutes did Nikola Jokic even play tonight? 36. Okay, so he was kind of scratching the surface there a little bit on the 40, but I don't think you need that from him every single night. I mean, I don't think he played that many minutes. Okay, he did play 40 versus Golden State, but kind of had to at the end of that one. 32 versus Phoenix. So you're giving this man you could be potentially giving this man 10 minutes of rest. 10 minutes on average more per game than he got last season. So the back-to-backs to me will feel way less nerve-wracking because I was just watching Jokic, Gordon. I mean, even Gordon, who was very, very injured, and MPJ was dealing with injury, and even Jamal got injured from time to time. We just watched a very injured Nuggets team, and because of their lack of depth last season, we saw them not only very injured, but also playing a lot. So with the depth, we watched this in the Suns game. When that starting lineup can pull ahead enough, you can put your bench guys in, and if they have a turnover, they miss a wide open shot, it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I also love that our bench is playing with a really high energy. They're playing aggressive, they're doing their very best, and those non-Jokic minutes, like I said, no longer feel terrifying. They no longer feel terrifying. Does it feel the same? Of course not, and I don't think it ever will. It's Nikola Jokic we're talking about here. But they don't feel terrifying anymore. So that's huge. So yeah, I don't stress about the back-to-backs as much as I did last season. Last season, I felt like I held my breath all season long. I feel like I'm still recovering with my lungs from last season because it was all season long. I kept holding my breath, sitting on the edge of my seat, just like petrified about what this team was going to do. So I don't think that we are I don't think that I worry about it as much. God bless America and God bless Liv. And God bless you, David. Okay? God bless you, David. Thanks for answering that. You have got it. The two-man game will still be solid with Val. Yeah, I feel really good. I don't like to say that with too much of a smile on my face because I know it's a long season and a lot of things have to go right in order to win a championship and go all the way. And I think this is going to be an exceptionally competitive NBA season. You've got Wemby, 100 points. This was as of this morning too, by the way. Okay. 100 points, 15 blocks, 40 rebounds in the first 3 games of the season. Are you kidding me? Aaron Gordon with a 50 piece, Aaron Gordon with a 360 dunk, Steph Curry with 40 plus, LaMelo Ball with a 38-point triple-double, 37 from Durant, 37 from who else scored 37 the other night? Durant and somebody else. I don't quite remember. Tyrese Maxey popping off, Sengun with the Rockets looking amazing. I mean, this is going to be a very competitive NBA season. And you might be wondering, Liv, why didn't you mention SGA's 50-point game? Because I don't care about it. I know. She's a hater. Oh, she's such a hater. She's still salty. Of course I'm still salty. I don't like to lose. I never have. You should have seen me on field day. I'm getting that blue ribbon, damn it. I don't care if I got to shove Susie and Sally over and push them by the head. I'm winning this relay race, period. Potato sack race, I'm winning it. Thanks. I don't like to lose. So yes, of course I'm freaking salty about SGA. Screw him. Screw his basketball. He's a great guy. Really, actually, he's a great guy. I want to like SGA. I just can't do it, guys. You want to know why? Because when you've got Aaron Gordon 10 of 11 from the 3-point line, and that's what contributed to his 50-point game, or you've got 20 plus points scored by Steph Curry in the fourth quarter to come back and win the game for the Golden State Warriors, or you've got, Wemby making history. I no longer get, like, it's no longer attractive to me that SGA got 50 points and 25 of those 50 were from the free throw line. That's not basketball to me. It's so boring. It's so boring. Why would we subject ourselves to that when we've got Steph Curry, LaMelo Ball, Wemby, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray tonight? Why would I subject myself to watch someone spend 4 quarters at the free throw line when real basketball is being played and I can watch that? Like, I'm good. Like, if Jalen Brunson is just lighting it up from beyond the arc, or Wemby is just absolutely unguardable, poetry in motion, why would I choose to watch the greatest player in a game spend the entire game at the free throw line? I don't care for it. It's not basketball to me. It's boring. Yawn. I'm over it. Like, it's so boring, guys. So here's the deal. You can call me an SGA hater all you want. I mean, it doesn't affect me either way. But it's just exhausting. I just don't know how any person, even if you're an SGA fan, I don't know how any person watches SGA play basketball and actually enjoys that. You can enjoy his game when he's not pushing off or flying to the ground. Like, yeah, when he's actually playing basketball, I'll watch that all day long. He's great. But what he's doing at this point in time, what he was really doing a lot in the postseason last year and the majority of his MVP season last year was that. It was just antics, theatrics, all the things I don't care for, honestly. So yeah, if I can actually watch real basketball, I will. I would rather not watch a great basketball player spend his entire game at the free throw line. It's so slow. It's so boring. At this point, it's overdone. Like, give me a break. I don't want to watch that. I'm good. I don't want to watch that. I would rather watch Steph Curry splashing threes on everybody, Aaron Gordon 360 dunking it, Wemby looking like the best player to exist ever. These are the things I'd rather watch. I'd rather fill my time with that. Austin Reeves, career high 50 plus. No Luka, no LeBron, no problem. Like, why would I watch SGA at the line when I could watch Austin Reeves with his little headband on, balling out? You get what I'm saying, guys? Like, it is what it is. So anyway, that all to say, this is going to be an exceptionally, exceptionally competitive NBA season. I mean, I'm a bit terrified, actually. Now, what team do I think is going to win it all? The most complete one. This is a star-driven league. At any given moment, you could get a guy that pops off for 50. Truly. Did I think Austin Reeves was going to be that guy the other night? Absolutely not. And he did. I mean, seriously. He totally did. I never thought I'd see it, but he did it. So, in such a star-driven league, at any given moment, these guys can turn into MJ. It's true. So, I think the most complete and the most healthy, which obviously feels like the obvious answer. I get it. Like, of course, the most healthy team. Like, that's a huge part of this. But truly, I think the most complete and the most healthy will win it all. Right now, the Nuggets look pretty complete to me. That's a really great feeling to have. And getting over the hump that is the Timberwolves with or without Anthony Edwards is definitely a step in the right direction. Regardless of who was in, who was out, it doesn't matter. This is a Nuggets team that just for their morale and for their confidence just needed to beat this team. Honestly. And you know what? This is exactly it right here. I think we got our hunger back. You know what I think it was? I think they got bored of losing. No, seriously. I think after they won a championship, they were just on E. They had no gas in the tank. They were exhausted. I'm not saying that they weren't motivated. They were exhausted. Hell, I was exhausted. I felt like I was celebrating from June all the way until the season started in October. And then I was like, oh, crap, we have a season. It's all starting again. So I think they were tired that year. And then I think the following year, there was a lot of external BS. I'm not excusing how they played. Trust me, I was probably more pissed than you were half the time. I'm not excusing how they played at all. But there was a lot of external BS that they were dealing with last season that I think just kind of sucked the life out of them. And they were just like, okay, if we lose, we lose. It's kind of not really our fault because these two grown men won't just swing it out. They're just going to go back and forth with each other. And who knows if I'm playing tonight? You know, depends on who's winning in the game of chess. I'm Calvin Booth's guy, but I think Coach Malone won today, so I'm probably not going to play. I mean, it was just a bunch of mind games of hocus pocus and bullcrap, frankly, that they had to deal with privately and quietly. Because what are you going to do? Stand in the middle of the court after a loss and grab the mic and say our front office sucks and our coach is full of drama? You're not going to do that. So they were hiding it. They were trying their best to push through it. They were trying to work through it as a team. And it was just a load of crap that they had to carry that they shouldn't have had to, but they did. So I think they were kind of okay with losing last season, dare I say, because I think they were just like, screw you guys. Like, quit dragging us into this freaking BS. Are you kidding? Leave us alone. And if we have to lose to get one of you gone or to get this to be finished, then fine. Like, I think they were just checked out. And honestly, I don't blame them. So, yeah, do I think their hunger's back? I really do. I think they even saw in the offseason, wow, we have a front office that cares. We have a front office that gives a crap. None of us wanted Bruce Brown to leave. So let's bring him back. Okay. That's nice. Hey, how many times do we have to talk about the fact that Nikola Jokic needs a backup center? Oh, we're going to address that in the offseason? Great. Okay, so I think they got their hunger back because honestly, the franchise as a whole figured their life out. There was a little dead period there following the championship where it was like kind of tough to watch that team there for a minute. But I do feel like they're back. Listen, before I get out of here, I got to say this. It is fun AF to be a Denver sports fan right about now. Yeah, it's the truth. I don't follow hockey, guys, okay? Obviously, baseball in this town, not much to discuss. I don't follow hockey. From what I understand, I saw someone tweet at me and say, if only the Avs could win in OT. Are they struggling in overtime, guys? I don't know. I can't. If you guys think for 1 second that my brain has the capacity to watch hockey as well, you are sadly mistaken because I can't watch sports without being like absolutely all in. Like I don't know how to just comfortably watch sports anymore. One, because I do this for a living, but two, then you add in like the sports betting piece and it's just like I'm too in it. I'm too in it to win it. So if you think I have the mental capacity to watch hockey and follow the Avs, I mean, sadly, I hate to tell you, but I'm just not. I consume way too much between both the Broncos and the Nuggets, and both of those teams do enough emotional damage to me that I don't think I need to add any more to that. Like I think I'm good where I'm at. We do have a little update for you guys before we get out of here. Oh, wait. The offseason was so good. I haven't been this excited about a season since 23. I know. And I said this on my show today. Dare I say that this year's Nuggets team is actually in a better position to win a championship than the 2023 team was? Like, I actually feel that way. I actually really do feel that way. Yeah, I really do. Quickly, Dodgers Blue Jays are in 14 inning in game 3 of World Series. Wow. 14th inning, isn't that a lot? Isn't there normally like 9 innings? Or am I crazy? 14? Is he making things up, guys? Chat, is he making things up? Tied at 5-5? How long has the damn game been going on? At what point do you call it and say it's bedtime? Like, I'm tired just thinking about it, guys. Oh, heck no. 14? Yeah, usually 9 innings. Okay, see, I kind of know a little bit about stuff sometimes. 9 and they're at 14. See, I'm sorry, NFL, but get your life together that we end in ties, really. Okay? This baseball team has added 5 extra innings. I think you'll be all right if you go into a little double, triple, quadruple overtime. Get over yourself, you know? Like seriously. It's crazy. I agree 100%. Yeah, feels like the Nuggets are in a better position to win a championship than they were in 2023, if you can believe it. I really feel that way. I think they are deeper. I think their defensive approach is already looking a little bit more figured out. And you've got 3-point shooters, guys. What more could you want? And you've got Jokic some help. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Help me, help me, help me. So anyways, you guys, let's get out of here, right? I mean, we've been live for a little bit. I mean, the first 10 minutes, I was trying to figure out why my laptop hated me. I don't know what happened there. I really actually have no idea what happened, and I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, that's absolutely right, Robert. This team is better, but the competition is better too. You're so right about that. Like I said, this NBA season already is terrifying me. Like truly terrifying me. Yeah. Scary business. But that's what makes it fun, right? Like I want it to be competitive. I don't want if the Nuggets win another championship, I don't want them to just skip into it and be like, la la la, that was so fun and cute. Like, no. I want you to work for it. I want you to really work for it. Cuz those are the championships that are like you never forget those. Good stuff, Liv. Thank you. Go Nuggets, go Broncos. As always, right? Go Denver. Like, truly. Denver is becoming such a fun sports city. Oh, my goodness, goodness, goodness. I love it. Okay, guys. I'm getting out of here. I'm actually headed to New York tomorrow. I hate flying. I'm not scared of flying. I just hate it. There's a difference, you know? Like I'm not scared of it. I don't get on the plane and I'm not like, "Oh god, the turbulence." Like that doesn't really it's not that. It's just I don't like sitting and being stuck. I don't like to be stuck next to strangers, you know? Like I just ugh. Oh my gosh, it gives me so much anxiety and stress. That being said, I travel a lot for work. I had a lot of miles accumulated and I did upgrade myself. I did upgrade myself to first class, guys. I did, okay? Sue me. I did it. I had the miles for it. I paid for it in miles. I didn't even have to pay any money for it, okay? I upgraded myself, so I'll get myself a little beverage, calm my nerves down a little bit, get a little food action, have a little more elbow space. And I think I'll be okay. But it is a long flight. And I'm not really feeling excited about it, but what can we do, right? I have such a cool job. I'm so blessed to do what I do. And I love doing these things with you guys, a little post-game show. I had mood swings today. And then, of course, I'm gone all week, except I made sure that they put me on a plane back in enough time that I could do a mood swing show for you guys on Friday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Of course, you're always at the forefront of my brain. Duh. I would never leave you hanging. So I will have a mood swings episode on Friday and expect another post-game live sometime next week. I'm thinking maybe for the Golden State Warriors game when they come back to Denver because that was such an exciting and fun game 1. Season opener, and hopefully they're looking for some revenge there against a Warriors team that looks pretty good to start the season. So I'm thinking we'll do the post-game live show next week following the Golden State game. If something changes, you guys will be the first to know. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Lots of love to you. Go Nuggets, go Broncos, go Denver in general, but especially go Nuggets. Taking down the Timberwolves, 127, 114 was it? Either way, it was a win, you guys, which is not something that we can usually say when we're facing the Timberwolves. So shout out to the Denver Nuggets. They are playing again, I believe, on Wednesday versus the Pelicans at home. Please tell me I got that right. I actually just totally guessed on that. I think I heard that long ago, and I was right. Yeah, I've got a great memory for the most part. Selective memory. I choose to ignore some things and completely block them out. But we'll see you guys very soon. Enjoy your week. Go Nuggets, go Broncos, go Denver, and we'll catch you Friday for another episode of Mood Swings, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, and then, of course, another post-game live following probably the Golden State Warriors game next week. Okay, much love, you guys. Thank you so much for being patient with me at the top of the show, as well as hanging with me late at night tonight. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.